Hello, and welcome back to more of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Unique and Required Weapons Only. So last time, we got 119 shrines, we got all of the memories. It's time to do final collections, which is to say, I have one shrine left. I still want to visit Lurelin Village because I never really got a chance to do so last time I was there. So it's all the way down here, so that's going to be fun to get back to. And then after we've done that, then I want to take a look at then I want to go and grab the last shrine. And I want to, forgot to start the timer. It's fine. It's not a super accurate timer anyway. So after we get the last shrine, then I'm going to go and smack Ganon around. If I remember correctly, if we head over here, there's Hinox, right? Yep. I can take off that marker. Alright, we're back at Lurelin. Rain, huh? On days like this, the only thing I can do is gamble at Coin Shop. Gamble? Yep, that's right. Head over to Coin's place next door and you can too. Is it profitable? It depends on your luck for sure. It's really, really bad. You put in 100 rupees and you could get either 1 or 300 back. And you have a 1 in 3 chance. So, yeah, no, it's not really profitable. We also have this. I have an inn. Normal bed. Until morning. Did you sleep well? As a treat for staying in with us, feel free to use the raft at the dock. Come again. They sell octoballoons and other seafood here, as well as electric arrows, which are very useful near water, and, or shock arrows, and normal arrows. Yeah. I'll go ahead and grab the normal arrows, because those turn into ancient arrows. And if you take a look around with Magnesis, you can see there's a few things here. You've even got a shield in the water. Sorry. It's a rusty shield. I don't really care to have that. Alright. Over there, we have another chest. It's a little too far away, so we're going to just head in that direction. Amber. There's also that chest over there. There's a chest over there. 5 fire arrows. Purple rupee. There's something. There's a chest over there. Amber. And although I haven't done it, and although I haven't looked at it, because I can't, there is actually a chest that is below the seafloor here that you can't get to, other than by excessive glitches. It's basically the hardest chest to get at in the entire game. That's a rusty sword. But there's a series of videos dedicated to trying to find ways to get at that sword. Which you can. It's just, you know, really hard. Or not sword, that chest. You can, it's just really, really hard. There's a special EX treasure over here that I've never found that allows you to get an extra bonus whenever you use a Korok leaf with a raft. What I mean by that is it'll let you go further. It's a shirt that does that. And it looks exactly like it's a reference to Wind Waker. Looks exactly like the starting shirt for Link in that game. Are you a traveler? This is Laurelin Village. We're a small fishing town and proud of it. My husband is a fisherman, and I have 2 sons who will probably grow up to be fishermen too. What shall I cook for tonight's dinner? Make your seafood paella. It's so good and yummy and great. That settles it. I'll make some seafood paella. Yay! We seem to be a bit short on ingredients, though. We'll need goat butter and a hearty blue shell snail. I'm so busy with housework that I don't have time to go shopping for ingredients. Oh, I know. Could you go and get me the ingredients we're missing? Sure. Really? I'm happy to hear that. I'll be waiting. Oh, you have the ingredients. Can I have them? Sure. Alright, I'll take those then. Now to start cooking. Here's a little something. Purple rupee. Since you found the missing ingredients, why don't you eat with us? It'll be done soon. Seafood paella. No fisherman's birthday bash would be complete without this top-shelf seafood dish. Go on, dig in. It's delish. Here's that gambling game I was telling you about. I'm not doing that. It's a complete waste of cash. If you don't win on the first 2 tries, you're at 200 rupees. Now over here, we have probably the hardest Korok ever. So we have that rock there, right? And on top of this... Oh, come on. I can climb up. On top of this, we have a pattern that needs to be completed. We have more rocks over there. And getting any rock up there is really, really, really hard. And I've only done it once, and it cost me so much durability on my weapons, I'm not doing it again. So yeah, we've got a setup over here that's an awful lot like the place that I keep dying in the Um, in the Trial of the Sword, but thankfully, a whole lot easier, because I have stuff. Well, goodbye to you. If a goblin touches the water, they're dead. Period. Oh, Great Eagle boat broke. That's fun. Hello. Is that on everyone? Apparently not. Who's left? Ah, that bokoblin out there. Okay. Goodbye to you. Royal Halberd. This spear was issued to the knights who guarded Hyrule Castle's throne room. Its ornate design was applied by a craftsman in service to the royal family. Hey, you took care of the monsters at Air Speech. It's been too long since I've had to fish from those waters. Had to fish from those waters. Thanks, mate. I suppose I should give you this to show my appreciation. Silver rupee. Come back whenever you'd like. I'll share the day's haul with you. Air Speech is a great place to fish. Tons of fish and even a couple of little secrets. Check this out. If you see a bunch of fish gathered around a reef, sometimes you can find treasure hidden there. Are you a traveler? Welcome to Laurelin Village. I'm Rosal. I'm the head of this village. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have about local things. About the village. Laurelin Village is a fishing village. When I was younger, I used to be a fisherman myself. The fish here are fresh and delicious. You should try some at least once. Anything else you'd like to know? About the ocean? There are tales passed down of sunken treasure in the ocean around here. I would look for myself if I were a bit younger, but I've grown old. But you look like you have a young pair of legs and a strong back. Do you want to go look in my stead? I'm on it. Couldn't be happier to hear it. Now, according to all the old tales, the treasure sleeps in the center of the Golden Triangle. Oh, and by the by, do you happen to have a boat? If not, I can get in my raft. It's tied up at the wharf. Help yourself. Eventide Island. A large island in the sea to the east of the village is called Eventide Island. There are some legends about that island, so the village fishermen tend to avoid it whenever possible. I've been there. What? You've been there? That's amazing. Anything else you'd like to know? Ruins? If you walk east from the village and keep going for a bit, you'll end up at Palmare Beach. There are some old ruins there. One of the youths from the village, Garini, goes there often to poke around. If you're interested, you should go see them. Garini should be able to tell you a lot more about them. Anything else you'd like to know? That's it. Alright, if you think of anything else you'd like to ask, come on back and talk to me. Sunken Treasure. Topaz? Topaz. Thunderblade. And Sapphire. You really found it! Ho-ho! Incredible! After all these years, people still manage to surprise me. You know, there might be some treasure that yet sleeps in this ocean. A diligent boy like you could get rich finding it. May all your delving end in gold. Alright, now we're off to, the blue marker. Didn't the girl over here complain that none of the guardians around here were broken? that all the guardians around her were broken? This one wasn't. Hey! Wind's blowing away all my parts. There's Lionel's over here, right? I need to fight fight some. That's not good.
It is my pleasure.
Rivali's get. Hill is now ready.
If you're wondering why I'm swapping over to that, it's... Oh, I should be going to the Boulder Breaker. Boulder Breaker would do more. Okay. Over to... Let's go try. Boulder Breaker. Ow. I have fairies, but I also have food. Let's just do food. Ow. That's nuts. Why did it do that?
The roof protection is now ready to roll.
Oh, down he goes. Oh boy, a spear Lionel. How many Zoro Spears do I have? 2? Okay. Ow. 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 That was fun. Finally. Star fragment. Savage Lionel spear. White-haired Lionels favor this brutal spear. It acts like spearhead is exceptional and exceptional weight give it absolute destructive power. Okay, well that's done. That's definitely the last of them, though. It's stuck. It is thoroughly stuck. There we go. Why can't I put it in? That's where it goes. There's no way it goes anywhere else, so why does it not want to go in? I'm sorry, I can't get that. It goes there! I can't get it in! Why? Why can't I get it in? It just doesn't go in. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. It just doesn't go in. I would love to get that Korok, but I don't know how it's possible. I can't use it here. Oh, that's news to me. Good thing I have the sand boots, huh? Alright, let's put on the remaining sets. We have the Hylian set, which has no bonus. And then we have the climbing set, which I haven't done up. We have the Barbarian set. Charge attack stamina up. Well, I'll show you what that means when we actually have a weapon. But in the meantime, let's get going. So you might have noticed that that charge attack used way less stamina than it normally does. Hey, diamond. That's what I was looking for. I probably went right past it, didn't I? Yep, here we go. Here we are. Hello, Book of Gaming. Yeah, I got the motorbike. And we are about to get the last shrine, too. This is the Forgotten Temple. How are you today? The Forgotten Temple is a fun place. See all those guardians? They're all active. All of them. The smartest thing to do is to fly through and pay them no mind. Because they generally will miss. And here we are, the Ranakachta Shrine. It's a blessing shrine. Great Flame Blade. And... you have done well to arrive at this shrine. A hero rises to right the wrongs of Hyrule. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this Spirit Orb. Is our last Spirit Orb. You have at last conquered all of our trials. Having fulfilled our purpose, we monks bestow upon you this, the warrant of the true hero. You must now depart for the Forgotten Temple. This is why you do it last. A gift from the monks. May the goddess smile upon you. Yeah, this is why you do this shrine last. You can do any other shrine, but this is why you do this shrine in particular last. Because you're already here. You go behind the shrine, and there are 3 chests. The Cap of the Wild. According to legend, this cap was crafted for a hero who travels the wild lands. Wearing it just feels so right. Tunic of the Wild. This armor was apparently crafted for a hero who travels the wilds. Strangely enough, it's just your size. Trousers of the Wild. Legends say these pants were tailored for a hero who travels the wilderness. Strangely enough, they're the most comfortable pair of pants you've ever worn. There's no set bonus, but... and now we are dressed like a true Link. You've accepted the gift from the monks at the Forgotten Temple. Inside you found a special green outfit made especially for the hero who braved the wilderness alone. Will donning this outfit help you to become the land's true hero? And now it's time to leave. Hi. Let's see how many of these, we get through, huh? Ow! Thankfully, you take no damage while you're still trying to get back up. And I have Rivali's Gale, so I can start gliding again. Ow! Woo. Yeah, okay, so that was the thing. You can still see all the red dots on my map. Alright, so our next task, now that we have that, I'm going to head over to Korok Forest and spend, those, spend all the stuff, all of those Korok seeds I have. Oh, Mr. Hero, did you bring it for me? Wait a minute. Is that a real Bloopy? Wow, it's even more beautiful than Peaks imagined. Thanks so much, Mr. Hero. Now I'm content. Oh, and here's a little thank you gift. Peaks didn't forget. Silver rupee. Oh yeah, Mr. Hero needs rupees sometimes, right? If you desperately need rupees, you should shoot an arrow at a Bloopy. I hear they drop lots of rupees if you hit them. Oh man, I'm so glad I got to see something so cool. Peaks is so happy right now. It is time for our final heart container. Link, it appears that you have sufficient power. You should not seek to increase this any further. Go, and bring peace to Hyrule. And it's time to try again. I have never done well on this. Let's do it again. Trial of the Sword? Yes. It's responsible for about half of my losses, and I've never gotten past the first round of it. Yeah. It's responsible for about half of my game overs. I've never gotten past the first round of it. Goodbye. The guy with the bow go. Whatever, at least I got this. Goodbye. There's some arrows. I do need to go back up top. There's the bow. Shield. More arrows. I need to get... There we go. And... There's that. I've never gotten that chest before, so I don't know what's inside. And now I need to get the one all the way over here as well. And now I can blow up these guys. If you take care of these guys first, you can't get those chests. Boomerang. Let's see what's in the other chest. I've never seen it before. I already knew about the boomerang. 5 fire arrows. That would have been nice to have before knocking it down. Oh, come on, he spotted me? That's not fair. Somebody has fire arrows or something. That was far safer than trying to actually deal with him. Okay. Okay, that was 4 hits. What if I do 3? That was effective. And there he goes. That was less than effective. Same for that. Come on. Link. Aim it. Down there. Thank you. There's that. And one more. Got a better bow. Arrow. More arrows. Hello. There's that. Done. Just bullying him with the bombs. Okay, that was fun. Soldier's broadsword, fire arrows, traveler's bow. More arrows. Still more arrows. Spike Boko Bat. Dropped by the guy I kept dropping bombs on. Alright, let's go. Now we have the moblins. Have fun with that. Goodbye to you. No, 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 no. Other side. There we go. So yeah, unlike Eventide, I can't be relying on Urbosa's Fury here, because if I could, this would be way easier. Instead, we have that. Goodbye to you. How dare you kick my bomb? Bye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Like Boko Spear. Roasted lotus seeds. And Korok Leaf. Why not? Goblin Spear. Or wood. Let's go. I'm starting to get the hang of the early floors. Alright, here we go. I remember this. We're going to head over here. And stasis launch this thing. And I went the wrong way. Nice. That's okay. There's more around here. And I overshot. Wonderful. Alright, fine. We'll do it this way. That helps. Next up, we're going to get up top and pull out the... Goblin Club. Ow! I've never been hit by that before. Or that! Seriously, for how many times I've fought Stone Taluses, this should not be hard. Ow. I have been hit by that before, several times. Fine. I tried to do that as safe as possible and ended up doing the worst I've ever done. Oh well. Don't forget the fairy. Grab that first. There we go. Fairy done. There's the fish. Like, I know there's a third one. Shield of the Mind's Eye. Serpentine Spear. Eightfold Blade. I really ought to stop using the low-level weapons for anything but stasis stuff. Let's see. Let's pull out the Spike Focus Spear. Alright. There's another apple up here. Let's grab that. No. Let's go. Ow! That's not good. No! Better bow. I totally missed that he was there. First things first, get rid of that. Thin arrows. Yeah. He's easier to fire at when I can actually hit him. Like that. Yeah, when he's aiming at me, he's way easier to hit. Goodbye. Yay, this room! Which has killed me like 3 times. Goodbye. That helps a lot. Hello. You can't get to me. Ow. You can do that, though. Fine. Okay, you want to do that? Fine. Eat bomb. Goodbye. Nope, nope, nope. I love how I can just lure him out to the bomb. Like so. He had Metal Gear, right? Yep. Those are wooden boxes, so let's crack them open and see what's inside. Some arrows, awesome. Oh hey, it's the room that keeps killing me! Let's see how I do this time! I've never gotten past this room. Ever. Like I said, it looks exactly like this on Aerith's Beach. Goodbye. Tin shock arrows. How in the... Fine. Goodbye. And you? Goodbye. More stuff in the water, or... Oh, there's a treasure chest up there, huh? Okay, fine. I'll get it later. Oh, hey, someone else with a bow. Prepare to die. Okay, I'm slightly too far away. Now I can hit him. And he still can't hit me. Goodbye. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. It's way safer sniping these guys from a distance. Way, way safer. Okay, there's a couple of guys left, but I can't actually get to them. And he's in the water. That's that. None of the guys here can swim, so I can knock them off the ledge. That works too. Well, I took a lot of damage, but I finally beat this room! Finally! My goodness. Okay. Let's go get that chest. Fire arrows. Is there anything back here? I don't know, maybe. Looks like no. Alright. Let's get over to that platform. I have the stamina, let's grab this. That's nice. And let's head down to those boxes and see what's in them. Bunch of fire arrows, that's nice. Anything in the barrels? No. There usually isn't, that's why I haven't been bothering to break them open. New floor! Ah, it's a Hinox. Yay. Anything around here, or am I on my own? I think so. And that's fine if I am. I know how to take down a Hinox, and not recklessly either. It just would be nice if I had, like, a metal weapon or something that I could throw at it. Oh, hey! Look! A box! That will be saved for when he's covering his eye. In the meantime... Okay, that did nothing. This is my best normal attacking weapon. Let's actually put on, hello? Trial of the Hinox. Oh, come on, hit him. He's so close. Nice shield. Awesome. I was this close every time? Ah! To the one chosen by the Sacred Blade, I commend your efforts in this trial. You are now strong enough to wield more of the Master Sword's power than ever before. A courageous hero, chosen by the Blade. Take hold of the Master Sword. I can't believe I was so close every single time. I've gotten to room 11, what, 3 times now? 4? Ah, you have finally returned. You look stronger than when I last saw you. The Master Sword you wield is now more powerful than before. It has 40 attack now. Link's conquest and the Trial of the Sword have amplified its splendor. If you desire still more power and wish to retry the Blade's test, once again place the Master Sword in its pedestal. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I was so close every single time. Alright. Over here. Oh hey! Blood Moon!
The blood moon
Well, that was the thing. Middle Trials! Okay. To the Blade's chosen hero, in the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer the Trial of the Sword. You must acquire still more power to wield the true splendor of the Master Sword. You must fortify your mind, body, and soul by eradicating all obstacles that appear in this realm. In this illusory realm of sacred mystery, anything can happen. All that you obtain here will be lost upon your return to the reality you know. Chosen hero of the Master Sword, overcome the Trial of the Sword and claim the Blade's true splendor. Middle Trials. I have nothing again, so this will be fun. That works. He's still alive? Okay, fine. Okay, well, that was less than helpful. That was also less than helpful. I'll be getting better stuff here. That's a fire arrow. That's useful for the thing up top. Soldier's bow. Some arrows and stuff. Let's go. Ow! Ow! Goodbye to you. Thankfully, the goblins don't fly. Arrows. Normal arrows. That's a new one. Oh, hey! Because he fell, he... Okay, that's nice. But there's a chest here somewhere. I see. Feathered edge. Rito craftsmen forged this lightweight, double-edged sword so Rito warriors could soar into battle unhindered by its weight. That's a bomb arrow. Let's try to not get hit by that. Oh, hi. Take the spear. You're gone. Ow! Trying to avoid that. Haha, they blew themselves up. Oh, Phrenic bow, nice. How do I get that chest up there? Baked palm fruit. This palm fruit was boiled with direct heat, resulting in steamed flesh inside the rind. Best served at the moment the juices emerge while roasting. There's some ice arrows anyway. Aha, that's how you get it. Feathered spear. Its lightweight design is a hallmark of Rito craftsmanship. It's made from light and sturdy materials, which will afford Rito warriors ease of use during aerial combat. Well, that was a painful room. Ow! You've got to be kidding me! Wow, okay. And I timed it wrong! Well, that's it. We're not doing it anymore. But at least my Master Sword now does 40.
Oh.
Hey! You extended my invitation for me. Thank you. Now then, Carson and the boss Bolson are waiting for things to begin. Shall we start the ceremony? Of course. Understood. Then let's join the gathering. Ahem. Silence, please, everyone. We shall now begin. We are gathered here today to join Hudson and Ronson in matrimony. Hudson. Before the eyes of these witnesses and before those of the goddess Hylia, do you take Ronson to be your wife, to have and to hold, in good times and in bad?
Oi.
I do. Excellent. And Ronson, Before the eyes of these witnesses and before those of the goddess Hylia, do you take Hudson as your lawfully wedded husband, in sickness and in health? And do you also vow to name your children in accordance with the Bolson construction naming guidelines? Wait a moment. Those vows are not traditional by anyone's standards. What makes you say that? They're as traditional as it gets. I don't think she means traditional in that sense of the word. A vow of undying tradition. And a vow of guidelines compliance. I'll take that vow. Think of future generations. Well, those are the guidelines. I do. Excellent. And so, dearly beloved, please help me in greeting this newly married couple. I wish this new couple nothing but the utmost happiness as they set out on this journey of marital bliss. It's only polite to give your blessing to the lovely couple who just vowed their undying love, so go talk to Hudson.
Ooh.
Hey! It's you! Thank you for attending the ceremony. Are you crying? Congratulations! Thank you. And now Terrytown looks like a real town at long last. This was all possible because of you. I can't thank you enough for all the hard work you did. Alright, this is for you. 3 diamonds! These were found inside the boulders we smashed when we were clearing the land. Ronson and I have no use for them. You can take them. Now that I have all of the champion weapons, plus these things, plus their Master Sword, I think I'm all set to go. Let's go off to Hyrule Castle. We're gonna go from over here because it's easier. So gliding is slower than shield surfing. And I suppose it's no accident that the shield surfing brothers have chosen this as their hill. So you can re-enter shrines even after you've beaten them. You don't have to solve them again or anything. Or I guess you do. Okay, fine, whatever. I can take on a modest test of strength. I have a Master Sword, and it's strengthened. Nice. But yeah, you can re-enter shrines after you've beaten them. You won't get another spirit orb, but you can get any loot that we missed. Namely, this frost spear. And you're ready, if you're ready to exit the shrine, you just do that. It's funny, I am now wielding literally every single unique weapon except a Korok leaf. Or unique or required weapon except a Korok leaf. Oh, there's not a waterfall over here. There is a chest, though. Ancient Arrow! 51.
Vivali's gale is now ready.
Oh, that's fine. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Hey, look, an ancient core. That would have been nice. Okay. Shield broke. That's fine. Silver shield. One. Ow. Two.
Vivali's gale is now...
Silver shield broke. Alright, let's show off the power of these things. Three. Hey, Ancient Core. Hydrate, huh? Okay. Welcome to the stream, Backseat Sauceman. How are you doing today?
roll.
Goodbye to you. As the Sanctum. Here we go. Final boss time.
Link. 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 I'm sorry, but my power isn't strong enough. I can't hold it.
If you haven't fought any if there are any blights you haven't faced, you face them before this fight and this cutscene right here. They have 2,000 health each. For every blight that you have defeated prior to coming here, he now loses 1/8 of his health.
Has finally come. Brace yourself, Ganon, for the sting of my revenge!
This will be our final opportunity. We will not fail.
Yet each divine beast is worth 1/8 of Ganon's health.
Let's go, little guy. Now, open up wide, Ganon.
100 years in the making. Hold on, princess. Our moment has arrived.
Normally at half health he goes into phase 2, but since we skipped half of his health, he doesn't actually have a phase 2. Do we have this? Yeah. Ow. I can't imagine he's gonna do too well against me. Alright. This is what I made the attack up stuff for. Next up, I have attack up active, so I don't need that gear. Instead, I want to put on this. And then we have ancient arrows and the ancient bow, so that's 1.8 squared. And instead of using the Master Sword, it's actually better with all I have active to use an ancient short sword. Trying to avoid that. Yep, I'm not kidding. I just beat phase 1. Okay, he does have a phase 2. I just finished phase 1 like that. And so that's the power of these ancient shields, is I don't even have to shield bash, and he automatically, it automatically goes straight back at him. So yes, that's the power of everything I had prepared. So in case you're wondering, I was getting a 1.8 times bonus and a 1.8 times bonus on the ancient arrow. With the short sword, I was only getting 1.8 times bonus. Then I was also getting 1.5 times bonus because of my attack up 3. And then I was also getting 1.2 times bonus for using an ancient weapon against Ganon. So, lots of multipliers come together, and it takes, he takes a lot of damage. Yes, I was severely over-prepared for this fight. I just wanted to get all that stuff. So that I would, you know, have all of the stuff, right? But yes, I was severely over-prepared for the fight. I did not need all the stuff I gathered. Now we come out here and we get to finally see Willa once again.
Ganon. Ganon was born out of a dark past. He is a pure embodiment of the ancient evil that is reborn time and time again. He has given up on reincarnation and assumed his pure, enraged form. If set free upon our world, the destruction will be unlike anything ever seen before.
Hatred and malice incarnate, Dark Beast Ganon.
I entrust you with the bow of light, a powerful weapon in the face of evil.
The only thing more durable than the
You may
ancient bow.
not yet be at a point where you have fully recovered your power, or all of your memories. But courage need not be remembered, for it is never forgotten.
Critically, we got the Bow of Light. It has 100 attack, not that it matters. Princess Zelda gave you this bow and arrow for the battle with Dark Beast Ganon. When wielded by the hero, it fires arrow of pure light strong enough to oppose the calamity. Also, it has 100 durability, which is less than that of the ancient bow, but during this specific fight, it is unbreakable, because if it broke, you would have a huge problem, because you can't move forward.
Energy covering Ganon's body is called malice. None of your attacks will get through as he now is. as much as I can, but my power is waning. Attack any glowing points that you see. May you be victorious.
That's wonderful. Can you please... Oh boy. Why did I not equip the... Where's my horse?
I'm sorry. I can't hold it.
There we go.
Ganon's power is weakening.
Need to get to his other side.
Aim for a glowing area.
Now I need to sit underneath him. Yes, I know exactly where these appear.
Now!
Alright, let's go. Now I need to be in front of him.
Link! Look up there. Finish him, Link!
Done. It took 77 hours, but we're done. Destroy Ganon. Complete.
I've been keeping watch over you all this time. I've witnessed your struggles to return to us, as well as your trials in battle. I always thought, no, I always believed that you would find a way to defeat Ganon. I never lost faith in you over these many years. Thank you, Link. The hero of Hyrule. May I ask, do you really remember me?
And there we go. That is the latest entry in the Legend of Zelda series. We're still waiting on the sequel to this game. So that is going to conclude my series playing through Legend of Zelda games. If we get another entry on the Switch, I'll be sure to play it. In the meantime, I have a poll up, and I'll put it up on Twitter on what I'm playing when I come back. This is my last stream before a break. I am traveling, so I'm not going to be able to stream for the next week and change. Basically, in 2 weeks, I will be back with my Monday stream. Before then, I'm not doing any more streams. So, I greatly enjoyed this challenge. This was a fun challenge. I finally actually had to use all of those weapons that are strong and infinite, but also an absolute pain to go get. And prior to getting the first one, wow, this was hard. Anyway, so that was fun doing all of that. I actually think I have beaten the first round of Masters of the Trial of the Sword before. It's just been a long time. But I do recognize the opening to the middle trials. I'm not doing any more of them. We're past 9 o'clock. Anyway, so yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed doing that stuff. That whole challenge. Like I said, I finally used those weapons. I never used them before. Never! Great Eagle Bow, set on a shelf, and so on. They are quite good. Quite good weapons, just, you know, the fact that you get chastised every time you go back to make another one. I mean, come on. I like how each of the champions actually has their own theme. I wonder what they're gonna do for Breath of the Wild 2. You're shaking. Why are you shaking? Is it because of the bass you can hear in the background? No, I have no idea what's causing it, but my neighbors apparently love to do this every time that I stream. Oh, because it's over? Yep, we're done with... There are no other Zelda games that are currently on Switch, so I don't have anything else that I can actually stream on this series. I would love to have played Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, but they're just not on Switch, so... So... Next up We have a poll. The first round of the poll decided it's going to be a platformer. Skyward Awakening, I've played those. I played both of those on the... Skyward Sword was right before this, actually. Or no, it was Skyward Sword, then Age of Calamity, and then this. And Awakening was at its appropriate point in the series as well. So... And yes, we are watching through the whole credits because there's an after-credits scene. And I normally watch through the entire credits anyway. I think that since, you know, these folks went to all the effort of making the game, it's only right to have them at least appear on my streams. That said, a lot of people worked on this game. It was in it was in development for years. I think they first announced it in like 2012. It came out in 2017. Rivali. User of the Great Eagle Bow, the most critical piece of equipment in this entire playthrough. Yep, Monolith Software actually helped a great deal on this. They're more famous for their Xenoblade and other Xeno titles, but they helped a great deal on this because their strength is wide open spaces. And they are very, very good at doing level of detail and such. No Tingle? You can pick up Tingle's outfit. I picked up part of his outfit. Finally playing the main theme. Doesn't count. Here's the king and the champions. Their role is finished. Those 5 giant pillars are now blue instead of red. The end.
We'll make our way to Zora's domain. Divine Beast Varuta. Looks like it's stopped working. Let's investigate the situation. Miva's father. I believe he would like to hear more about her. The least we can do is visit him and offer him some closure. Although Ganon is gone for now, there is still so much more for us to do, and so many painful memories that we must bear. I believe in my heart that if all of us work together, we can restore Hyrule to its former glory. Perhaps even beyond, but it all must start with us. Let's be off.
She has her Sheikah Slate back.
I can no longer hear the voice inside the sword. I suppose it would make sense if my power had dwindled over the past 100 years. I'm surprised to admit it, but I can accept that.
And we've got a whole field of silent princesses. In case you're wondering, that hill is just outside of Kakariko Village. And we're back on the title screen, so that is it. That is all for Breath of the Wild. We're still waiting on the sequel. Paprika Village. Oh, Kakariko. Anyway. Oh, Kahuna dude. You're just in time for me to end stream. Yes, I'm done. I finished. I finished. Alright. So, like I said, taking a break. And when we come back next time, well, it's up to the poll. No, I won't, because I've streamed this game twice now. Anyway. So that's going to be all for today. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.